Stage up! Right! Mark up! Girls up! Sound the advance!
The troops are marching on to the 1st Recruit Training Battalion Regimental Parade Ground, led by the 1st Recruit Training Battalion Band, commanded by Captain Walker. The history of Kapooka dates back to the Second World War, when it was a training camp for Army engineers. Following the war, it was used as a migrant camp until the outbreak of the Korean War. During this period, 2 recruit training battalions were established. This was later reduced to 1. The present Blamey Barracks were completed in 1966 at a cost of $5.5 million and are one of the most modern and well-equipped barracks in Australia. With the exception of apprentices, all Army recruits come to Kapooka. The course at Kapooka spans 12 weeks and is designed to instruct recruits in the basic skills required to prepare them for their next phase of training. This parade marks the completion of their induction into the Army. The Parade Sergeant Major, Warrant Officer Smith, will now hand over to the Parade Commander, Captain Hume, who will pose the platoon commanders and march on the Governor-General's banner. On the left as you look is 21 Platoon, commanded by Lieutenant Hanson, Royal Australian Corps of Transport. The platoon sergeant is Corporal Hills, Royal Australian Signals. The section commanders are Corporal Crosby, Royal Australian Engineers, Corporal Warwick, Royal Australian Infantry, Corporal Wade, Royal Australian Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. On the right is 24 Platoon, commanded by Lieutenant Obradovic, Royal Australian Signals. The platoon sergeant is Sergeant Muir, Royal Australian Infantry. The section commanders are Corporal Alexander, Royal Australian Army Medical Corps, Corporal Adams, Royal Australian Infantry, and Bombardier Langford, Royal Australian Artillery. The host officer, Major Kidd, Officer Commanding Charlie Company, is now arriving. The reviewing officer, Colonel Herford, Commandant of the 1st Recruit Training Battalion, is now arriving. The reviewing officer, Colonel Herford, accompanied by Major Kidd and the Regimental Sergeant Major, Warrant Officer Class 1 McEwen, will now inspect the troops on parade. The reviewing officer inspects the troops on parade so that he can assess the standard of soldierly qualities as shown by their dress and bearing. The troops will now march past in slow and quick time, followed by an advance in review order, culminating with the reviewing officer being accorded a general salute. As the troops approach the dais during the march past in quick time, the band will commence playing the regimental march of the 1st Recruit Training Battalion, Rose Gloria. This march consists of two traditional folk tunes, Prussia's Glory and My Bonnie English Rose. The march was arranged in 1967 by the late Warrant Officer, Class 1 Jack Parry, who before retiring was the bandmaster of the 1st Recruit Training Battalion Band. You are requested to stand as the Governor-General's banner passes your immediate front. Those in uniform should salute. Gentlemen should remove their hats. The reviewing officer will now present trophies to the most outstanding soldier, the best at physical training and the best rifle shot of the platoons. The soldier best at physical training and the winner of the Physical Efficiency Prize of 21 Platoon is Sapper Makanda, Royal Australian Engineers. The best rifle shot and winner of the Skill at Arms Prize of 21 Platoon is Private Owen, Royal Australian Infantry.
This is bread and butter to an infantry. You've got to be able to shoot, you've got to be able to knock the areas quickly. No point doing all the rest of the stuff unless you can shoot properly. Shoot that here, shoot a gun, get involved in rifle clubs, improve your shooting all the way along the way. So good effort, congratulations again. You've got some good work.
The most outstanding soldier of 21 Platoon is Private Clark, Royal Australian Infantry.
Okay, Clark. I know. What do you Righto. This is only the start. Keep it going. When you get to the infantry, you show them that you can
The best at physical training and winner of the Physical Efficiency Prize of 24 Platoon is Sig Powell, Royal Australian Sig.
Right, sit proud.
The best rifle shot and winner of the Skill at Arms Prize of 24 Platoon is Craftsman Headland, Royal Australian Electrical and Mechanical Engineers.
Get involved in shooting. Not only for some shoot them and knock them over. Well done. Congratulations. You've got to do work.
The most outstanding soldier of 24 Platoon is Sapper Peroz, Royal Australian Engineers.
Look at it every now and again and say that's what I can do. Okay? That represents a lot of hard work. You've got a lot of hard work in front of you too, so you might need to look at this, okay?
The next trophy to be presented is the Falling Plate Trophy. It is presented to 2 Section 21 Platoon and 1 and 3 Section 24 Platoon. It is awarded to a section which achieves an above average standard of shooting at the completion of the challenge.
Gentlemen, congratulations on what your sections have achieved. I would like to see everyone individually recognised. I guess from your point of view, someone else won it at the same time you did. But you do stand publicly here today to be recognised for your efforts. I thank you very much. The Falling Plate is just one little trophy that represents success, and you have achieved it. So well done, and congratulations for everything you've done. When I give you the trophy, remember it's bloody heavy. It's almost fallen a couple of times, so just watch it. Congratulations. Well done. Congratulations. Well done. Good rest. Soldiers on parade, the band of the 1st Recruit Training Battalion, distinguished guests, parents and friends, boys and girls, welcome to the March Out Parade. There are a couple of people that I would like to especially welcome to the parade. In fact, one of them is a group. But first of all, I'd like to welcome to the parade Major Issam from the 2nd Signal Regiment from Watsonia in Victoria. Major Issam's son is on parade today, and he represents the 3rd generation of signallers in the Issam family. So welcome, Major Issam. Welcome to the parade, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I would also like to give a special welcome this morning to a number of our senior citizens who are visiting from the Haven. They have made a special visit out here today to see the parade. I'm sure for some of them, they've seen many soldiers in the past, some of them in situations where the soldiers had to go away to war. Hopefully it's a much more pleasant day today for them. I know they're all a bit of a sucker for a soldier in uniform, but I do wish them well and welcome to the parade. I was to have received on parade this morning a very generous donation to the Australian Soldiers Chapel Appeal from the Wulundri Rotary Club. It is a very, very generous donation of $5,000, which comes from money that they as a club have raised in the last 12 months. Unfortunately, Mr. Egan, who should have been here this morning to present it, has been delayed, but I would like to publicly thank the Rotary Club of Wulundri for the very generous donation they are making, and that the hard work that they have put into fundraising, I hope will turn into something magnificent for our soldiers in which they can worship. That is the Australian Soldiers Chapel. So on behalf of you and all at Kapooka, I thank the Rotary Club very much for their very kind donation. Thank you.
First of all, to the soldiers on parade, I wish to compliment you on the parade that you have put on this morning. This is our first parade in winter dress for the year, first parade in battle dress. And in fact, I think the battle dress looks very good on parade, and you certainly excelled this morning. Your dress and bearing, and your drill, and your steadiness on parade is befitting soldiers of much more training than you have had. You have done well. It's been a good parade, and congratulations. Well done. I'd also like to compliment the band of the Recruit Training Battalion, who again has provided very good music on parade. And I should point out to those present that the band not only gets dressed up on a Monday to perform and provide music for the parades, but are involved virtually every day of the week in rehearsals, training with the recruits. They do a fine job. They do certainly an outstanding job when it comes to march out parades and music in the city. And for that I thank them very much indeed. Well done. My next remarks I would like to address to the parents and friends who have gathered today for this parade. What you see in front of you is the result of about 13 weeks of training. That training has been pretty tough. It's been pretty hard. It has come with its frustrations. It's come with its sadness. It's come with all sorts of hardships. But that's what soldiering is all about. Soldiering is a demanding profession, requiring demanding training, to which we must have demanding standards. We quite often review our training here at 1RTB to make sure that it is on track, that the things that we train for are the correct things, that our standards are correct, that our level of training is correct. Now you know how tough it is for the soldiers on parade, because you're the ones who have listened to the phone calls, you're the ones who have read the letters that come home to say how tough it is. I don't make any apology for that, because that's what it's designed to be. If the job is demanding, we've got to train in a demanding way. And by listening to those phone calls and listening and reading those letters, giving them the ear to listen to their stories and their problems, you have provided myself and my staff, and of course your son, an enormous amount of support. Support that is so critical to the achievement of those objectives I've been talking about. I am quite sure in my mind that without your support, without that encouragement, without that shoulder to cry on, some of these young men on parade today may not have made it through the rigours of training. I thank you very much for that support. I am greatly appreciative for it, and I'm sure the soldiers on parade are just as appreciative. Thank you. The staff of these young men, the corporals and the platoon commanders, and the sergeants and the warrant officers, also put in a lot of work. And I can assure you that the staff of 1RTB put in hours that are far superior to those required in the civilian community. Some of these NCOs and junior officers put in anything up to 18, sometimes 20 hours a day if necessary, making sure that things are right, that training is progressing, that there is counsel, and that there is someone there to assist them when they need it. That is a tremendous effort. And the one thing that always surprises me, although it shouldn't be a surprise, but certainly pleases me, is that those NCOs and officers always seem to come up smiling. You'll see them today after the parade, and although they've been working just as hard as your son over the last 13 weeks, they too have got big smiles on their faces. On your behalf, I thank the staff very much. It's a hard job. You know it's a good job, so thank you very much for the effort. I'd also like to remind the mums and dads that training doesn't cease here. This is only the first step. These young men now go on to their special schools and do their special to corps training, whatever that may be at the moment. That training too is going to be hard. It's going to be demanding, and it's going to be much more specialised. And I would say to you that your son is going to require just as much support there as he received here at Kapooka. And I would encourage you to continue that support and make sure that your son has every opportunity to have a good and fulfilling career as a soldier. I'd also encourage you to think about the Defence Force that your son is about to join. We're not a Defence Force that sits on our hands and does nothing. We're not a Defence Force that just consumes money for no reason whatsoever. You can see the result of your defence dollar on parade today. You've probably seen some of the effects during the floods of recent weeks of the soldiers and the airmen who are out there helping the citizens of Australia overcome some of their problems. You'll also be aware that we maintain forces overseas as part of our United Nations groups. Our forces in Pakistan, in Iran, Iraq, Lebanon, Syria, and the list goes on. We could find ourselves in Cambodia in the near future if things work out in a peaceful way there. So you can see we are a Defence Force on the move, and these young men are joining it in what I believe to be an exciting time ahead for all of us. Your support is needed, and I thank you for that continued support. If you enjoyed what you see today, if you enjoyed what we've done with your son, could I earnestly, sincerely ask you to please write and tell the Minister for Defence, Senator Ray. As a new minister, he needs to understand these things. He needs to understand what is happening. And your letter to him will go a long way in helping him understand what the Defence Department is all about. On the other hand, if you have any complaints, would you see me? I'll guarantee to you I'll listen. It doesn't mean to say I'm going to do anything about it, but I will listen. To the soldiers on parade, you should be very proud of the first step that you've taken here in the last 12 or 13 weeks. As I've already said, it's a tough step to take, but you've taken it. And you've overcome a lot of hurdles and a lot of problems in getting here today. You can be proud of what you've done, and you can be proud of what you are. We've given you training in your basic military skills. But not only that, I think we've given you training in things that you're probably not aware of as such. I believe we've now given you a sense of confidence. I believe that we've given you a sense of discipline, particularly self-discipline. We've given you a sense of loyalty, and that's loyalty in its broadest sense. And all that together must add up to us giving you a great deal of self-esteem, so that you can stand on parade today, wear your uniform as proudly as anyone else, poke your chin out, and know that you have achieved some very demanding standards. When you came here 13 weeks ago, I gave you one guarantee, and only one. And that was that when you stood on the parade today, that the hair on the back of your neck would stand up and that you'd feel very, very proud of yourself. I hope that is the case. If it's not, I'm sorry, there's nothing more we can do. When you move on to your schools, all you have to remember is that what you gave here at Kapooka is what you have to give at your school. You give it 100%, you give it everything that needs to be given to it, and you will succeed. And you will, I know, have a very successful and enjoyable time with your career in the Defence Force. Congratulations again, well done, it was a good parade. Congratulations on the standards that you have achieved over the last 13 weeks. Best of luck in your schools, give it all you've got, because I know there's a lot there to be gained. Good luck in the future, and good soldiering. And Digger, welcome to the regular army.